Hey folks, this is Vint with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out RIPOUT. This is a game that you can find on Steam's Early Access program for about $25. And I stress Early Access, that means everything that you're about to see is subject to change. This is a cooperative horror first-person shooter, although you can play it solo if you want to. Instead, if you want to play with other people, there's both private and public options, which is great. As far as like windowed mode is concerned, I just have to make a quick comment. There is no window mode per se. It's like borderless. So you can still drag it around if you like click and find the right sweet spot on the top of the window, but like there's no actual window to click on. It's borderless. I hate that. I wish it was an actual window. Anyway, so what are you doing in this game? Well, this is a roguelite, and in between levels, you're going to pick a mission once you get past the tutorial. Each mission will grant you different rewards and bonuses, unlocking different schematics. There's also different sectors that you can progress on, like there's Sector Alpha, which is where you start off on. I recently unlocked the next sector, which makes the game slightly more difficult. And then also on this like home ship, you can equip new weapons, assuming that you've crafted them. You can equip some mods, like I have a tech scan ability that I recently unlocked that allows me to scan the environment and look for anything valuable, but you can only use that a limited number of times. You can also use resources that you've been collecting, like biotic components, electric components, mechanical, refined alloys, that kind of thing, and you're going to, well, craft new schematics as you find them. Typically, they're in the form of different weapons and stuff like that. I'm sure there's more to find. I've only been playing for about 2 or 3 hours up to this point, so, just treat this as more of like a first impressions kind of thing. So once you pick a mission, you're going to embark on your shuttle and land on this other ship. Whatever. And one complaint I do have is that it's very samey. The environments, every time I board one of these ships, it's the same exact environment, and it's kind of repetitive at this point. The main gimmick of this game is you've got this alien gun, whatever, bug gun. And yeah, no. So it's interesting. You can shoot with it as a machine gun, but you can also throw it at things. If you throw it at an enemy, it'll attack it. There are also like little bugs walking around the environment. These bugs can jump onto enemies and make them more powerful and buff them in some way. Or if your bug targets one of those little bugs and you collect it, you get something for it as well. These little bugs might grant the user, whether it be the enemy or yourself, with like a personal shield, the ability to regain health, maybe like this arm cannon that can shoot more powerful ammo, but like it's very limited. So you've got these little bugs walking around, and you kind of either have to take them out before they get to the enemy and buff them in some way. Like a regular zombie walking around can turn into a zombie with a big gun on its shoulder because you let one of those creature bugs hop onto the enemy. So like you have to decide, do I want to replace the current like special that I have, or just kill this thing outright and prevent it? There's also these upgrade stations lying around. Like a roguelite, you'll be able to, like during your run only, buff yourself in various ways. That's okay, I like that. My biggest problem with this game is it's dark and it's hard to see things. And honestly, like, I typically miss a lot of stuff. There is that scan ability that I was talking about, but it's sort of tied with your pet, and you can only use it twice by default unless you've upgraded it during that run. So like I can only scan twice, and the scan only lasts for like 10 seconds. So like by the time I make my way over to where the blue highlight is, the blue highlight's gone, and I'm like, well, where is it? I can't see it. So, like, finding things in this game is incredibly difficult and frustrating. It's just not highlighted in a way that is enjoyable. I don't want to sit here for half an hour trying to find that one loot crate or whatever it was that I scanned that I'm trying to find it and I can't. So, and that's just annoying. That's not gameplay. I'm sorry. That's frustration. I wish objects in the environment by default were a bit more noticeable, at least the interactable ones. And I wish the scan lasted for the length of the room. So the way the levels are broken up, it's like Smash TV. and that you're going from room to room to room to room to room. Every room has a task. Once you beat that task, the little guide marker will sort of direct you to the next door so that you can get to the next room. And eventually, you'll complete all of the rooms and then escape in your shuttle. Now, the different missions have a bit of variety to them. In one room, I had to get the air supply back up and running, and then destroy all the enemies in the room. And then in this one, I had to collect 4 power cells or whatever. So, every room has a different objective. Some do repeat, I will say. Those upgrade stations, by the way, you have to find a switch on the wall that turns the power on in order to activate them. That's something that just wasn't explained very well. But that also turns on live wires on the ground, which can kill you, so you gotta be careful. Speaking of being killed, if you're playing solo, you get, this revive token, I think. I haven't played cooperative yet. I did get a second key, and I do plan on playing with my fiancée later. But for now, as a first impressions, this game's okay. It's early access, so I don't want to, review it too hard right now. My biggest frustration with this game, like I said, is it's hard to see things in the environment. The scan isn't all that good. I'm hoping that it gets a buff later on, but even still, I'm having trouble. I like looting in games like this, and I can't loot because I can't see, and I don't remember where the scanner led me to, and I can only use it twice, which is stupid. I can only use my scanner ability twice because that's my pet. But the pet mechanic is the big thing. Do you possibly getting a pet that can attack things, and you can grab little guys on the little bugs on the ground and buff yourself in some way that is cool. If it weren't for the bug mechanic, though, and if it weren't for the pet mechanic, I feel like I've seen this before in some other games, like Mother Gunship, for example. Mother Gunship is actually... I prefer that right now simply because it has a wider variety of weapons. This game is meh. The gunplay isn't all that satisfying, to be honest with you. The biggest gimmick is the pet. That's the gimmick. And I hope the developer can do other things to make the rest of the game better. But yeah, still check this out anyway. I think $25 for this is kind of steep, considering the amount of I don't know. It's just the gunplay isn't satisfying, and it's just sort of centered around that one pet mechanic. When everything else gets a facelift, then absolutely probably $25. But it's not bad. I enjoy it. I still think the game is a bit too difficult, even on the easy setting. There are difficulty spikes that you'll see, your character will be just fine, killing stuff, and then all of a sudden, bam, you're dead. Just out of nowhere. So, the difficulty can spike very quickly, even on easy. So, more work, I think, needs to be done. I'm still enjoying it, but I'm still a little about the price tag. This is Vince. Thanks for watching. Catch y'all next time. Take care.